This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. So let's get right into this thing because I want to go over, what we need to be paying attention to. What is it we need to know? There's so much news moving so quickly. Things are moving really, really fast in the crypto space, and they do normally anyway. But things seem to be moving especially fast, and I would say here domestically in the States as well as abroad. Now, I want to remind everybody that we have some G20 meetings coming up at the end of the month here. One of which I want to talk about very quickly here is the G20 Leaders Summit, which is in 28 days. And there's also it's not a G20, a B20, a Business 20 that is coming up as well. And I want to remind everybody that there is a G20 Digital Economy Ministers meeting that is encompassed in that get-together with the virtual summit. So there is a digital economy task force for the G20 as well, if you weren't aware of that. So I wanted to make everybody aware of that. And I wanted to also, there was a B20, which is a Business 20 that is going to be meeting also. Here it is right here. So Business 20 saved a date for virtual Business 20 Summit to kick off October 26th in just 2 more days, bringing together global thought leaders and luminaries for an insightful discussion on B20's policy recommendations at the G20 to build more inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future for all. Now, remember, along with the G20, along with the World Economic Forum, along with the IMF, they all have this narrative about a great reset, the great reset. And then you even hear the IMF, which we covered the other day, talk about a new Bretton Woods moment. I want you to understand that that statement really encompasses not only the birth of the IMF, but also the birth of the US dollar becoming the global reserve currency during that time period. And that really suggests a new Bretton Woods moment that we would see a new currency or currencies. And I think the broader narrative here is that digital currencies are money. And I hope that the world embraces them just as money, just as they do fiat money. I really, really do hope that that's the narrative internationally as well. But let's go ahead and get back to this because this is a very, very important piece of news. I covered this in this morning's video, but again, I want to show you some other things that are happening around this piece of information that, to me, really start to take shape on an international and absolutely a U.S. domestic outlook here. So let's just go over this one little paragraph and we'll get right to it. According to the rule change proposal, the Fed and Financial Crimes Enforcement Network proposed modifying the thresholds at which banks must collect and store fund transfer information, reducing it from $3,000 reporting level to $250 for any transfers that go outside the U.S. The proposal would also widen the agency's definition of money to explicitly include cryptocurrencies as money. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now let's get to this diagram that I drew some time ago to kind of keep us with this visual. I'm a visual learner, and I know a lot of you are too. I want to get this diagram out, and shout out when I made this diagram, it went out. And whoever did the red boxes and the 3 original yellow arrows and put the Ripple and XRP logo on this to add to the diagram is fantastic. And I thank you, whoever you are. I really do. But we've added to it again, because I know I've heard Brad Garlinghouse talk about there's 8 different regulatory bodies that oversee what's happening here with digital assets, and they all have different ideas about what these cryptocurrencies or digital assets are. So this is what gets interesting for me. So we know that FinCEN has just said in this article that I just showed you that they want to see not only reporting drop down from $3,000 transactions to $250 transactions. They really want to track and monitor what's going on. And the Federal Reserve, the Fed, it says it right here, the Fed and FinCEN. Well, now, that is interesting to me because now we're talking about, and you know what? The U.S. Treasury and the OCC have already weighed in on where they're at with digital assets and banking system, right? Now, FinCEN is proposing crypto include money included in money definition. The Federal Reserve also along the same push and proposal. So now we have the Securities Exchange Commission who issues a no action letter. The U.S. Treasury issues 2 letters, one about being able to custody digital assets in the federally chartered banking system, which absolutely tells you that's banking activities and seen as money. And then you have being able to hold reserves for stablecoin issuers in the federally chartered banking system, which adds consumer protection and insurance for the through the banking system as well, bringing confidence to using these private stable coins. Then you have the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which issued a rule effective that SWIFT GPI and Ripple XRP can provide the effective settlement and transparency for the first time ever for cross-border payments in this new rule. So that's incredible. And now we have the Fed and FinCEN tucking in. They want to see virtual currencies tucked in the definition of money. That is enormous. Enormous. I've said it on this channel many times before. It ain't money unless everybody agrees it's money. And everybody, as far as I can see, agrees that it's money. Now, like I said, coming back to the international level, where these things tend to begin as a collective effort between all of the nations around the world. And we've seen plenty of evidence of that from the G20, the World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund, the regulatory agency, the Financial Stability Board for the G20, releasing just 7 or 8 days ago, they released the final report on how to regulate and supervise and build the framework, a final report for global stablecoins or stablecoin. I firmly believe that there's a very good chance that XRP could find itself in that global stablecoin category because it did not get put in the same category with Bitcoin or Ethereum. And I think that that was correct. And I think that there will be many use cases out here in the digital asset space. And I think they've got a good system to classify them. What we're waiting for now is the official definition to come down from the final entity, whoever that is. I have a feeling it would be the G20 on the international level. And I believe on the domestic level, we will see the Treasury, and certainly the Fed has already asked that they be included in the definition of money. So I would imagine that the U.S. Treasury and or FSOC, Financial Stability Oversight Council, weigh in on the matter, because that is another regulatory agency connected to the Treasury as well as FinCEN and the OCC. So this is getting very, very interesting. Now, don't forget, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed a law for crypto legislation. We're waiting for the DCEA Act to get on a full floor vote from the Senate out of the Agriculture Committee. So it's already passed the House of Representatives, which was the tougher hill to climb here right now with the current climate. We should see, I mean, if they're interested in passing it, we should see it get to a floor vote, full floor vote. So now, looking on, we know that the United Conduct Authority, the EU, Japan, there's obviously clarity in those areas. We've heard well and away what Ripple thinks about possibly moving to those areas to get further clarity. The question I keep asking and reminding people of is simply this. Those areas are further in clarity for digital assets. That is absolutely indisputable. What's not indisputable is this fact. None of those particular regions of the world with that clarity have begun using XRP in full scale for its original intended use. I believe personally myself that the reason that is because this has been something that has been an international effort. If you look at the Financial Stability Board, if you look at the IMF, if you look at the World Economic Forum, this has been an international effort to introduce digital assets and to figure out how to settle them with cross-border payments and settlement and through the financial system, including central banking system and back-end derivatives and tokenizing stocks and all of these things. And we know that it has been suggested in many of those documents that we have reviewed ad nauseum here that XRP could be a key component in the framework of the entire digital asset space for settlement backend. Will it be the only thing? No, this is a world. We're talking about the entire world here. Sure, there'll be other things. And you know what? Ripple understood that. And Jed McCaleb and David Schwartz and Arthur Brito and Ryan Fugger, all those original developers understood that from the very beginning. And that's why interoperability was one of the main things they knew that the ledger and the token had to have with the entire system to work, because they had to replicate it like the protocols of the internet we use now that are highly interoperable and interface very, very well with other things, whether it be other digital assets or other forms of stable coins or CBDCs or what have you, because if you don't have the interoperability, you don't have the ability to be the universal highway for the world's money and exchange of value on the new internet of value. All right, I just wanted to bring to you this, and like I said, I'm a visual learner. Shout out to the person who added to this diagram. I really love what they did, and maybe they can even take the diagram and make it better than I have here. But at any rate, this is what I wanted to put up here. Let everybody see this. I think we're getting closer. I really do. I mean, if nothing else, I don't know how far we are away from this thing, and no one else does either. But what I can say is you can clearly see with this position of this news and this proposal from FinCEN and the Federal Reserve that they want to see virtual currencies included in the definition of money. Now that is a powerful, powerful thing. All right, that's going to do it for me. Hit that like and subscribe. Make sure you share this with someone who wants to know or learn a little more about it. And don't forget, hey guys, if you're new to the space or you just have some spots that you're not sure on, I've got a nice, very affordable course. I think it's under $50 right now. You can sign up for it and get it. It's a very affordable course, quick and easy to go through. Check it out. And all the links I've got in the description in the comment section. And make sure you share this with somebody you know. I will catch you on the next one. Take care.